is going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night. Time to talk some football. It's your boy, SAJ, Loudmouth of the South, coming to you live from Quick Walk Chinese restaurant.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know, right?
Man, I don't even think of where I was coming from today. You know what?
Well,
extra special. You know what, Jay? This one's just for you. This one's gonna be just for you.
What
So
you got?
today, I'm gonna be coming from the Ruck Foodie Studios.
Ooh, you're getting fancy on me now. Wow. No, I wanted to. I pulled that one out last minute. I was going to do something else. I pulled that one out last minute because I figured you would probably remember it. It was over on Walsham. It was close. I'm sure you and your folks ate there several times. I know my brother's first real job was there, right? So special connections. But now that we've done,
we mentioned in our little side chat, Facebook is back up and working again. We're on Facebook again.
We are on the book, if you can believe it. I cannot comprehend this. Like, I don't understand what's going on. Are we?
We are.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I'm going to share it to my page. Our show. Yay. So I think your theory was correct, right? That had to be a certain amount of fans before you could actually go live. Now that we've met that criteria, now we's important.
So thank you to all my Facebook friends that I spammed with an invite that accepted it. So, you guys are awesome. And Jason's friends as well. You got us over that hump. So,
which just basically means my 6 family members, and that's about it.
Hey, you know what? Whatever it takes. So
I'll take it, right?
Yeah.
Some delicious, refreshing iced tea tonight, which I pretty much drink all the time. What's up, Jackie? We are actually live on Facebook, right? And there was much rejoicing from the crowd. But speaking of Jackie, we need to start the show correctly, okay?
Yes, absolutely.
210 Brahmasita. I'm sorry, I'm lost for words right now. 210 Brahmasita, probably one of the hardest working women that we know of in this organization, has put together a wonderful, wonderful bus trip for us to go to Arlington and watch the Renegades get beaten by your San Antonio Brahmas on April 27th. Now, I'm going to share the screen so you can actually see what's going on here. Okay? Here's the charter bus. Maybe not exactly this bus, and we certainly wouldn't all fit on that bus if that was the real size. But here's the deal. $100, right? Get your round trip ticket to Arlington and back, tickets to sit with the Brahmas fans, and we're going to be getting parking at Alamo Beer, okay? We'll be getting back probably somewhere around 1 to 2 a.m. Your vehicle will be in a safe and secured lot. It will be, exactly where you left it. Hopefully you party responsibly so you can drive home from there. But if absolutely not, if you have to Uber from there, catch a ride with somebody or whatever, your vehicle will still be safe. You just have to come back by, I believe Jackie had said, and she'll have to pipe in whenever she gets a chance. But I believe as long as you're back by 7 a.m. to pick up your vehicle, then they will not tow it. Now, if you're there after 7 a.m., then they will remove your vehicle from their lot and you will have to pay impound fees and all that other stuff. Arguably still much cheaper than a DUI, but either way, your vehicle is going to be safe.
Absolutely. So, now, I think what we need to highlight, that little middle sentence is in there. We have to get a full bus by end of Friday, which means we have to have commitments by tomorrow. And
by tomorrow, folks. So not like tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. We're talking commitments like tomorrow, like by dinner time. We have to let Jackie know because, well, actually probably earlier. Let's say lunchtime.
I say by lunchtime. I mean, we really need to, let her know. And I mean, we need 25 more people that we need to
25 seats. Yep. Yeah. 25 seats available. And as Jackie said in the chat, all vehicles do need to be gone when we get back, honestly, because it's just going to be much easier that way. Alamo, who's been very gracious and who's not, raking us over the coals for parking or anything like that. They're being very gracious to allow us their lot when they could be using it to make, $30, whatever. Right here, Jackie said, everybody needs to be committed by tomorrow and paid by Friday. So that's 23 seats available. Okay.
And if we don't get those seats, we're gonna the bus trip's gonna have to be canceled.
Yep.
It's just not gonna be,
it will not be possible.
Yeah.
Right. The bus has a minimum amount of people that need to be on the bus, and they're not going to roll up there if it's like 10 of us or 20 of us or however many we have counted right now, or I should say committed. Okay. So do your part. I know a lot of you are going to be available to go to the game. A lot of you are talking about, driving up on your own. Save the money, save the effort. Okay. Just jump on the bus.
A lot of people, when we put out the initial feelers for it, a month ago, there were a lot of people that said they wanted to do it. So, those people, hey, where y'all at? We want a bus load full of people to get up there to go to Arlington for this game.
Yes. So make sure you sign up, contact Jackie, contact this guy over here, contact this guy right here, contact Jorge, DJ, any of us. Okay. We'll get your information over to Jackie. We'll get you squared away. It really would be better just to reach out to Jackie. Just because she's smarter than all of us. But reach out, get your seat, get on the bus. Okay. Brian, I'm not going to be showing your comment. Okay. I'll deal with that later. So let's talk about some fun stuff, right? We do have an announcement to make, but we're going to save it towards the end of the show. And we just want to make sure that, everything is kind of handled according to our schedule. Okay. Brian, how do we do on our UFL pick'ems?
Man, all right. I have to go back. You were 3-1, I believe. And I think I was 2-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I picked DC, Birmingham. No, you know what? I think I'm 2-2 because didn't I pick Roughnecks?
Yeah, I think you did pick Houston.
Right, so, and we both picked the Brahmas.
Yeah, so we're both 2-2 because I picked DC, I picked the Showboats, Michigan, and Brahmas.
Yeah, So we got to talk about that game, Brian.
We have to.
We do. Okay. And here's the reason why. Everybody knows SAJ, right? You guys know my shtick. I love getting people riled up. I love getting people at that fervid pitch, fully engaged, supporting their team, going all kinds of crazy, right? There are hard lines that I draw. Like, I do not insult anybody personally. I do not make it any kind of an attack towards anybody or anything like that, right? We don't even really necessarily talk trash to the players unless they start talking trash back to us. But we're gonna, some.
We kind of
do. Bellamy's kind of the exception, right? Because of how much he was talking about, hey, 15 minutes, you guys will be home. And that didn't turn out so well for him.
We talked to Bellamy. There was that guy for Houston that was all super mad for that game.
That's true.
We had a couple of them.
Okay.
So,
but again, even then, we
had more laughing than we had more like pissed off at us though. So
yeah, like we'll make fun of something that they do on the field. Hey, way to go! You needed that play and you dropped it. Good job, buddy. Proud of you. Right? Stuff like that. Like normal fan harassment of the players. We may turn around because, as pretty much everybody knows, if we're playing a game, you're going to see me engaging with people behind us. And I may say something to the fan like, hey, where's your guy on that one, huh? Where's your superstar? What are you doing? Right? But we never make personal attacks. We don't say anything about the players personally. We don't say anything about their families. Like, those are just lines we do not cross. And that's what, fandom should be, right? You razz them, you give them a hard time. You make a whole hell of a lot of noise when your defense is out on the field. You don't say anything on offense. We were trying to do that this week. And I think our efforts fell a little bit short, right? What's up, Jeremy? Horns forward, baby. Let's go. But, okay, everybody saw my hype video. I talked all kinds of trash, how we were going to roast the battle chickens from the field. And we even did some live stuff, right? Our friend Jersey, he's covering all the tailgates from all the different groups, and he's got, kind of this unique perspective on the whole UFL. And so we help him out, whenever we're doing tailgates live and all that good stuff. Totally talk trash there. I talk trash to Dirty, aka well, everybody knows Dirty. I don't need to tell him, right? You may be right, but we also found out
there's a couple other things too.
Yeah, we found out that El Mariachi did not touch Touchdown Jesus.
Yep, and it was Mariachi and Brahma Bro did not touch.
Oh
Touchdown
yeah,
Jesus either.
Did Brahma Baby even come over and touch Touchdown?
Yeah, she did.
Okay,
she did. So
okay, so we busted out the Sage Doobie. We had the candles. We just didn't have them lit. But again, we didn't have them lit the last time either, right? So I don't know that it was the candles. But anyways, the point of all this is that St. Louis wound up besting us again in our own dang house, 31-24. Now,
at least it didn't hurt as much as last time, because that first one was just painful and brutal. I mean, this was kind of, it was kind of an ass kicking the entire way. We tried to make it tight towards the end, but
right. And I think that's kind of what makes it a little bit easier, right? Is the fact that we were not in a position where we dominated that game. We were behind pretty much the whole time, right? St. Louis marched down the field opening drive. Took them a while, but they got in the end zone. We managed to keep them out for the 2-point conversion. We get the ball. We marched down the field for a little bit. And then we settled for a field goal because that's the closest we could get.
Yeah.
What's up, Brahma Babe? Hey, you need to tell Brahma Bro next game he needs to touchdown Jesus.
Yep.
Okay? No excuses. I'll take Jesus over to him if I have to. He's got to touchdown Jesus. Okay? And Brian, you're right. They 100%. I don't know that they necessarily hurt our quarterback, but I think Garber's being the consummate, just hungry, driven young man that he is. I think he pushed himself and probably got himself in a situation where maybe he hit somebody's helmet or something, trying to make a throw, and that's how he wound up breaking his wrist. We're pretty sure. We don't know the exact injury, but I'm pretty sure it's a broken wrist. But he is out.
It's a wrist. I don't know what, as far as if it's a ligament or break or what, or it's just something on his wrist.
But yeah, it's a significant enough injury that he's out for the rest of the season. Quentin Dormady will be taking the helm on the next game, which is this Saturday, that everybody needs to be at. Make sure you reach out to James Carr or any of the other staff that's with the San Antonio Brahmas. Get yourself some great tickets. The nice thing is that for us anyways, or I say for me, right, Fiesta will be happening. So lots B and C are not really going to be an option. So you're going to have to look for other spots. Well, funny that you mentioned that, okay? Because our friend Warren, who everybody should know, and if you don't know, you need to meet this man. Let me bring up this, okay? And we'll get back to the game in just a bit. But
you got I already had it pulled up, but all right.
Yeah. Here's the Fiesta tailgate parking. Well, why don't you pull up the map? This is right on the corner of Idaho and Cherry Street, which is literally the next block over from Lot C. First come, first serve, $20 per vehicle per space. Now, a little bit of explanation on that. You can tailgate directly in front of your vehicle, right? Leave yourself a little bit of room. You can, tailgate right in front of it. And that's not going to cost you any extra money, right? If you want to, pop up a pop-up or anything like that, then you are going to have to pay for an additional spot. But it's only $20 a spot, so that's $40. You're saving $20 over what you would pay at the Alamo Dome parking lot. So come on out, come hang out with us, have fun. Brian, why don't you? I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Why don't you bring up the map?
Yeah.
So as you can see right here, it's right on the corner of Commerce and Cherry Street right there.
Yeah, literally. So Commerce and Cherry, and then this lot, this is Idaho right here. This is where you come into the lot. and you've got Montana Street right here, and then this is Lot C. This is right here at the bottom of the map is the corner of Lot C. So you're just right across the street from Lot C there. Oh,
right.
shoot.
And then there's two different.
Lost
Put that back up. There's two different ways that you can actually go. Right. You can walk across to Lot C and take those stairs in the lower left-hand corner where the Google logo is, or you can kind of follow this yellow line.
This little yellow path here.
Right. And literally you go across the train tracks, cut through Sunset Station. There's no stairs. There's no anything. And boom, you're right there at the Alamo Dome. So it is 100%, as Brahma Babe says, easy walk to the Brahma Dome.
We did it last year for the Fiesta game. So,
yep.
It was an easy walk there. And more importantly, it was an easy walk back because, sometimes after those long, intense games, walking up and down some stairs, it ain't that easy.
Well, walking in general probably isn't that easy. So.
Well, that too.
But, okay, back to the game. Okay. Again,
Squirrel.
I really hate the fact that Garbers got hurt. I don't think his stats, even though he had a decent quarterback rating, I don't think the stats show how hard he was trying. Okay. 27 to 41, 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 66% completion rate. Okay. 103.2 quarterback rating compared to McCarron's 129.9. Right.
The problem is Garbers had 27 completions for 143 yards. McCarron had 19 for 152 yards.
Yeah.
Garbers, it was, 90% of the passing game was just out to the flat. So, and it was getting frustrating watching that, but,
What is up, Rig? Horns forward. Let's go. We're going to be talking about your team in just a second here.
Kind of not knowing when he got hurt, maybe that's why he was making those, short passes. We saw him kind of go deep a couple times and be off a little bit towards the end of that game. So that's probably, why he was doing that, but it was still frustrating during the game.
It was extremely frustrating. But again, overall, it was as good as I expected the game to be. The viewership, I think it's important to talk about. Our game garnered over 1 million viewers. That's extremely important. Yeah, granted, it's Sunday afternoon. What else are you going to be doing?
Sunday afternoon on ABC, but you know what? It gets eyes on the league, so that's important.
Yeah. So that was an extremely important game. If you look at the stats again, we try not to be too focused on the X's and O's, but if you look at the stats, pretty evenly matched. Brahmas did have the lead in total yards and all that kind of stuff. But they just was not enough to get it done. And I'm sure Garber's being hurt did not help out. Right.
I'll tell you what I did like to see. And I know we kind of mentioned it, early in the game, just watching it, but we had over 100 yards rushing, which, that's good. We need to have a established run game. Just something to take the pressure off of a quarterback, So I liked looking at it, seeing that we got over 100 yards rushing that game. So that was actually pretty cool to see.
Yep. And the fact that they were mixing it up. Now, we're not going to count Garber's 3 rushes necessarily. It did add to the total, but the fact that they were mixing it up with 3 different options there, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, unfortunately we lost a good one. But the nice thing is we got a good one, right? And we even have pretty sure we have a 3rd string quarterback. If not, we're definitely, as Brian said, we are going to pick up another quarterback somewhere because we can't.
We have to have 3 on the roster. We've got obviously Dormandy's going to be the starter, and then Tom Flacco.
Yes, Flacco
is the backup, and then whoever we pick up for the 3rd string.
Yep. Brahma Babe right here, 100%. We do need to capitalize on takeaways. That's one thing I did not notice. I didn't see any interceptions, and there were opportunities.
No fumbles.
Right. We should have killed on that.
Actually, you know what? No, we did get a fumble.
It was no. I don't think our defense got a takeaway.
Yeah, no, it's in the stat. We got 3 points off of one fumble. I don't remember. I don't remember that, but
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look. I really don't remember that. But anyways, again, St. Louis, I've been messaging people all week long, right? In fact, I think I started Sunday. You guys are right. Battle Chickens were better. I'm still going to support my home team, right? You got us this time. You got us the last time. But this year we're coming to your house, right? So be ready, because this, I can guarantee you, this loss stung. The Brahmas were not prepared for that, and they're not happy about it. So they're going to be coming back with a vengeance. So be ready for it. Let's talk about the Houston Roughnecks. This was a very surprising game because Houston at one point did actually have the lead, and we're looking pretty solid, right? And going into halftime, Michigan was up only by a point, right? So completely doable. But then that third quarter happened.
yep.
22 points to Houston's 3. Guys, that's not going to get it done. If you look at Michigan's quarterback rating, 193.5. Like, that's insane. That is insane. That kind of stuff isn't supposed to happen. So maybe
really 16 he in 3 incompletions, 16 of 19 for 208 yards. So that's 16 passes for over 200 yards is crazy.
It is. The other thing, and I need to do a little bit of research, but I'm pretty sure I see a familiar name. The backup quarterback for Michigan is Etling. I'm pretty sure that was a backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers at one point. The reason why I bring that up is because he literally was a flash in the pan. Like, he showed up, he was there for a little bit, and then he was just gone. You know? So I need to
seems like what he was in this game. Went in through one pass and completed it, and then was gone.
Yeah, he's like, whoop, okay, I know what happens next. I'm gonna go get my stuff. I'll see you later. So yeah, it was rough. Riggs said penalties. Definitely. Penalties are a killer, right?
Yep.
2 straight false starts. I mean, you can't operate on that, right? So a little bit more discipline, a little bit more control on defense, right? Making sure that your backs and stuff are glued to the players, making sure that they're busting up all those plays. And they did bust up a couple. I mean, I'm not going to lie. But you got to stay consistent across the board. You've got to stay throughout. I mean, it's a full 60 minutes, right? What did we say when we were in Memphis, Brian? You remember what you said?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was kind of, you said it took us a minute to get into that game, but I said, yeah, it took us a minute, but that's why there's 60 of them.
Yep.
And especially, I mean, as Arlington, DC found out, as we found out last week, that's people are complaining about this 4th and 12 and stuff, but it's keeping these games interesting. Yeah. You gotta play for a full 60 minutes if you want to close the team out. So
yep. And our former quarterback Reed Sinnett actually had a pretty good game. So congrats to him. Just need a little bit more, right? DC Arlington. I'm sorry, yeah, DC Arlington. Let's talk about that game. That was a close one.
Yeah.
Right? That one they battled out. And the Perez from last year finally showed up. I was very impressed, right? 24-40, 290 yards, 137 quarterback rating. The problem is that, and here's the thing I don't understand. Look at the stats. Arlington had 419 yards of offense compared to DC's 259, and they still lost by a point.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen, man? So it's those last minute field goals, man, and just not taking care of business, not closing things out. First quarter, obviously DC went up 3-0. So they're tight, back and forth, defensive battle. Arlington did definitely best DC that second quarter, right? You got 14 points to 6, and then they kind of lost their grip, right? and they couldn't close it out. This right here, I definitely want to highlight this. Rig, you said Michigan fans showed great hospitality to you. That's good. I'm excited to hear that. How many actual Michigan fans were there though, compared to the Houston fans? How many Houston fans actually made the trip? I'd love to know that. But I'm excited. I mean, it's, even though it's a competitor, it's Ford Field, man. Like, there's some history there. Barry Sanders and Megatron and some of the other, NFL greats that have played there, right? There's real history there. And I'm not saying that other stadiums don't necessarily have that, right? But Rice, you got college legends there. Alamo Dome, you've got other colleges legends playing there.
You got Spurs legends there.
Right. So I mean, it's a little bit weird. So it's nice to kind of know that there's a little bit more of that NFL connection there. That's really kind of nice. But again, Arlington dropped another close one. Big Game Bob being Big Game Bob. What's it going to take to turn them around, man?
Well, I don't know. Like I think I said this last week. I think it's gonna be a long season for Arlington.
Yeah, just say a miracle.
Yeah, yeah.
I really
Basically what it is.
Yeah, I really don't think that we're going to be seeing Arlington in the playoffs this year.
No, definitely not.
I just don't know how they're going to pull it off. Okay, so that's pretty much what we got going on. UFL this next weekend. We are going to be playing. Who the heck? We're playing Michigan, right?
Yeah.
What are we? Week 4. You've got Memphis going up against the Battlehawks in St. Louis, right? That should be a pretty interesting game as well, because we know how hard, Memphis went against us. So they're not going to go easy against St. Louis. DC is going to be taking on the Stallions. I'm
looking forward to that game.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty interesting game. And then you've got the Texans title showdown.
It's at the exact same time as our game.
Yeah, well, that's what TiVo's for, right?
Yeah.
See, TiVo's this old technology where you used to be able to record games, and I'm kidding. Everybody knows what TiVo is. But then you've got the Texas title game, right? On Sunday, Arlington versus Houston. So that's going to be an interesting game, right? Somebody's got to win. Who's going to do it?
Finally getting their first win.
Yep. So I'm rooting for Houston, right?
Yeah.
I love our friends in Arlington, but everything that Houston's gone through to get to this point, I'd really like to see him win one. So sorry, Arlington. I've got them. I've got the Brahmas. I'm picking Stallions. And as much as this hurts, I'm picking the Battlehawks. So all home teams.
Okay. I'm gonna go Battlehawks. I'm gonna go DC.
Oh.
Brahmas and Houston.
So DC for the upset.
DC for the upset.
That's a bold choice, Cotton. Let's see how this works out. Okay, so that's week 4. Let's talk some IFL football, okay? Or should I say the lack of football in San Antonio?
Well, San Antonio, yeah, I don't think they know that the season started yet. So
there was not a single point where San Antonio was in contention for the lead. Now, I see where they tied it up a couple of times.
Yeah. First quarter was a little back and forth, but I mean, after that,
after that,
they got within 5 at one point. That was it, though.
Yeah. Well, they tied it up in the second quarter too, at the top of the second quarter. But then, yeah, you're right. After that, it was a runaway freight train, man. They just could not stop the Golden Knights. And we love our friends at the Gunslingers. In fact, we're probably going to be. P.S. I forgot to tell you this. We're actually going to be popping over to our friends over at the Smoking Guns podcast to let their audience know about the bus trip up to Arlington. But when they send the link, I'll send it to you, and then we'll just jump over there.
All right.
So, but yeah, San Antonio just did not have an answer, man, and it was just rough. So let's go up 35 a little ways and go visit our friends over in Frisco, who handily took care of the Quad City Steamwheelers. And I've got to say, man, a lot of the expert predictions, and especially our friends at Pro Football Talk, is it Pro Football Talk? Why do I keep saying it wrong every single time?
Pro Arena Talk.
Pro Arena Talk. Guys, I'm sorry. I try, and I really need to put up Post-it notes with the names because names just slip when I start talking. But our friends over at Pro Arena Talk had predicted Quad City to do better this year than what they did last year, and right now they are not on track.
They're 1-2 right now. I mean, it's only 3 weeks in the season, 4 for one team, but I mean,
well, it'd be 4 for 2 teams, wouldn't it?
Well, no, one of the teams had a bye. There's only one team that looks like it's played 4 games. No, I'm sorry. You know what? No, you are correct. Arizona Rattlers has played 4 games as well.
Yeah, because who would they play? A game that would count, it would have to be an interleague game. So, anyways,
the point being, work like so one team has one team doesn't. So but I mean, Frisco, they look like they're picking up right where they left off at the regular season last week.
True, last year. But they're picking up finally, because remember they started out rough too.
I mean, rough. They were, they're still 3-0. I mean, I think the games are a little closer than what the
games were a lot
we're
closer.
Expecting. Like the first week they only scored 31, and then they kind of started going from there. But they're still 3-0. I mean, end of the day, whether you score 30 points or 80 points, whether you win or lose is what's important.
That's true. So this next week, obviously, we've got some games going on. San Antonio will be at home against Tucson Sugar Skulls. That's going to be Thursday, April 18th, which is in 2 days.
Yep.
Right. So if you're in San Antonio area, you want to watch some arena football, that's going to be a great game to watch. I'm going to be streaming it myself because I won't be able to make it to the game. But we definitely want to. I definitely want to watch that game. Maybe this is the game. Maybe this is where San Antonio finally turns it around.
1-2. So if we can get a win against a team that's struggling, but just something to get the confidence up for the guys. I mean, IFL, it's a long season.
Yeah. So, well, and like Brahma Babe said, right, that transition from the NAL to the IFL has been a little bit tougher than probably what they imagined. Coach Menace has been definitely trying to mix things up, just to get some fire under these guys to get the win. So maybe this is the game, and I hope that it is.
It's not just us too. Like Brahma Babe said, the Sharks, dude, they're struggling too. They're 0-3. So both of the NAL teams from last year that made the jump are having some struggles right now. So
yeah. And these were 2 competitive teams last year.
Absolutely.
So, but it is a bit of a different game. So, anyways, our friends in Frisco are going to be taking on the Tulsa Oilers, so they're probably just going to be cruising up 35 a little bit themselves. And Tulsa Oilers are, let me look at the standings.
They're 2-1. So
yeah, they're 2-1. So this should be a pretty good game. So make sure you tune in and check that game out also. Now, the one team that we try and give love to, even though we can never get any stats on them, is the Corpus Christi Tritons. We talked about this last week. They were playing, who the heck were they playing? Bring it up, computer. Cedar Rapids River Kings. And
no, that's who they just played. They just played Cedar Rapids.
Right, this last week. Actually 2 days ago, at the American Bank Center in Corpus. So that would have been what? Today's Tuesday. That would have been Sunday evening. Yeah. Corpus stomped them like it wasn't even remotely close, 58-38. I
mean, look at the scores for this past week: 75-27, 84-0, and 58-38.
Who?
That just seems like a trend in the league from what I've seen. Like, there's a lot of blowouts. Yeah,
well, and the Maryland Eagles don't even play in the AIF, so somebody brought in a team somewhere to fill in a void. So I don't know where this Maryland team came from, but they definitely were not prepared to jump into the AIF. Like, that's ridiculous. Amarillo obviously struggled, right? 27 points total. They lost 75-27. Amarillo, man, there ain't much to do in Amarillo, and apparently watching football isn't one of them either. So they're gonna have to get that figured out and turned around, hopefully soon. Trying to look at the standings. Amarillo's at the bottom, 0-3. It's rough. Corpus is 3-0.
3-0, yep.
It's this is their league, man. They're owning it. But yeah, Brahma Babe, you're right. The games are not what they used to be. The winning scores are a lot, more close to what we're used to with, like, the old AFL teams and stuff like that, where you'd have like 75-69, something like that. But the losing team is losing by a lot. And it's just, it blows my mind. But yeah, so that's what we got going on with the AIF. What else do we have on the radar? NFL draft. That should be coming up really soon, right?
It's coming up next week. So next Thursday is when it starts.
Yes. So, Brian, being the consummate Cowboys fan that you are, if you were in charge, who you draft in the first round?
Man, I don't know. We Cowboys need a lot of help. Lost a couple big spots on that O-line through free agency. So I can see them addressing that. They haven't done a damn thing at running back. So I'm not 100% sure who's out there for running backs. But I think with one of their early picks, they need to do something. And, they need a quarterback. Even if it's going to be a backup for a year, they need to bring somebody in. So one thing, actually, I don't think we've actually ever talked. We have talked about it. We had talked a few weeks ago that, the Cowboys were talking to extend Dak and give him that $60 million a year deal or whatever. But they decided they're not going to do that, and Dak's going to play out the final year of his contract.
Oh.
So maybe, Cowboys are actually wising up and thinking, hey, maybe we shouldn't, commit to this guy for 4, 5, 6 years when he doesn't show that he's capable of winning. So, I'd like to see, like I said, get that offensive line bolstered up, bring in a running back, bring in a young guy, kind of do what they did with Zeke. Find some guy that's kind of coming young, tear the league up for 3-4 years and move on to the next one. And then, at some point in the early rounds, I'd like to see a backup quarterback that could potentially be a starting quarterback.
Yes, when they trade Dak Prescott to the Philadelphia Eagles and let them deal with them after that, right? Sorry, Jeremy. I'm just saying. But again, yeah, I mean, we're taking shots and we're having fun with it and everything. But yeah, the Cowboys definitely have some needs. They really need to kind of bolster that quarterback position. I think that Dak might actually do a little bit better with a little bit of a challenge, right? And if not, shop him, man. Shop him. Let's give him every opportunity he can this year to see what he can do.
That's what he had last year and the year before.
Okay,
he's had every opportunity.
Yeah, but you're looking for trade value at this point. You're not looking to get competition out of him and get him to the Super Bowl.
I don't care. He's in the last year of his deal. I don't care if they trade him. They can just let him walk. Bye.
With all that dead cap?
No dead cap when he's at the end of his last year of his deal.
That's true. Yeah. So, I don't understand. Okay, Brahma, I'm sorry. I don't understand the question. How many opponents do you get? How many picks do you get? Maybe opportunities? Oh.
How many opportunities do you get?
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Right. Do you remember how many picks the Cowboys get this year?
No, I'm thinking. I think she's talking about Dak.
Oh.
How many opportunities can he get? He's already had more. He's already had more than enough to show himself.
Apparently, he must be a cat, dude, because he's had like 16 lives and he's wasted every one of them. Right.
How about you? What do you want? What do you want Green Bay to do?
Man, I will say with some of the losses that we've had, especially with Bakhtiari, stuff like that. And I don't know. I'd have to go back and look and see if they made any moves with him, if there's any contract extensions, or if they shopped him and sent him.
I think he gone.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me. But we need offensive line. We need the offensive line pretty solidly, and we need cornerbacks, right? Running back. I mean, we should be okay with bringing Jacobs over. But we've got Dylan on a 1-year deal, and he may not stick around after that, right? And I still can't believe we got rid of our guy like that, Aaron Jones. What are you doing?
They brought in Jacobs though, so I mean,
it's not an even trade. I guarantee you that's not an even trade, right? And especially if we don't have the interior line for him, then what's he going to do? Get crushed in the backfield? So we've got to get a stronger line, and we've got to get some cornerbacks. The running back position is important, but right, let's save that to a little bit later. See if we can find a developmental player that we can, work on over the year and get him ready for next season, not this coming up season. So that's kind of where we're at, right? Otherwise, I mean, quarterback, we're set at quarterback. I think Jordan Love is going to have a better year this year statistically, because I think some of the pressure is off now, right? So he's not going to roller coaster like he did at the beginning part of the season. Darnell Savage, in fact, was with Green Bay, and he's not anymore. And that one hurt too. I hated seeing him go. But yeah, we need some help, and we're going to see. I know we've still got Eric Stokes, which I think Stokes is going to be okay, but he is injury prone. So I'm hoping that they can cover that in cornerback. We don't have the depth. We don't have the longevity. Now, Savage over in Jacksonville, I think he's going to do okay. I think he is getting a little bit towards the end of his career. Maybe not in the next 2-3 years, but he's definitely not putting out what he used to. What's up, Vanessa? Horns forward, let's go. And I said it on the internet. I'm not going to say it here on air. Okay. But you know what I'm talking about. That certain chant that you guys love so much. Yeah, so I think Savage will be okay over there. I think he should contribute pretty well. I don't know, that he's going to be a high producing contributor, but he's definitely going to make a difference on your squad. So the NFL draft obviously is next week, starting Thursday. Yep. Everybody's going to be tuned in. We know you're going to tune in. Everybody's going to tune in because everybody wants to see what their team is going to do, whether it be the Vikings or the Jags or the Eagles or the Cowboys over here or the Packers, right? Like everybody, we all have our NFL alliances. But let's not forget, we're still right in the middle of the UFL season, right? And we've got plenty of big games coming up. Vanessa herself said right here, she's stoked for the draft, right? I don't know why. I mean, you've got one of the best running backs in the league on your team. Like, what else do you want, man? But yeah, that's cool. I get it. But yes, don't forget about the UFL, okay? Because that is still going on. Now, we may cut the show a little bit short so we can kick over. Yes.
Yeah, if they didn't extend the schedule.
Yeah, and that's fine. Oh, there you go. You're right, Vanessa. You're right. One ring. And I know that stings, right? We've got 5, so it's okay. How many you got? No, we've got 4. I'm sorry, my bad.
How many Super Bowls do you have?
4.
Okay.
1, 2, 31, and I can't remember the one that Rodgers won.
I've been alive for 3 of ours. So
3 of your 5?
Yeah, 3 of our 5. I mean, I was how old was I? I was 14 for the last one.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Been a minute, hasn't it?
Been a minute.
So heck, we won one.
But hey, you know what? It's been 28 years now, or whatever it is, and we've got the Vikings that still have 0, and you've got all these other teams that still have 0. So, I mean, yeah, it's been a long time. So
Hey,
you still not
Vanessa.
catching up to us though.
Yeah, Vanessa. Jesus wasn't alive the last time the Vikings won a Super Bowl. Okay, so yeah, it's
I'll tell
been.
you another team that has a longer Super Bowl streak than the Cowboys of winning, the 49ers. So they can suck
Yeah.
it too.
Wow. Wow. Taking shots at the Niners, Brian. Come on. They're not even in your league or in your division.
Doesn't matter.
So
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. I know, Vanessa. But we love you too, right? So that's okay. Your time is coming. Your time is coming. Green Bay can't lead forever, and we know Chicago's never going to lead again. And so your only other competition is what? Detroit? You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean Detroit they had their year last year, and they'll probably do it again this year, and then they'll Detroit and go down to you know absolute nothingness. So
Ugh. You actually let him in your house? I don't understand that. Hey, tell him to go check out my MySpace page. I updated the song that plays when you check it out.
Yanni, get your angel fire on, get on my level.
No, we can't talk Vikings draft. Okay, we absolutely can't. Look at this. Detroit been rebuilding since '57. Damn.
Yep.
Truth. Okay. Again, NFL draft is coming up. Make sure you're watching, right? Everybody is going to have those what are you doing moments, right? Just like when we drafted Love, right? What are you doing? Okay. But check it out, right? See what, the coaching staff and the GMs and all that, where they're going with it. It's a very exciting time. I love the NFL draft. Just trying to figure out, who's going where, what's going on, who's going to actually do something in the league, who's going to be a bust, right? Ryan Leaf, cats like that. Trying to think of some other ones, but anyways, right? It's a great time. Also, don't forget about the UFL, right? This is going to be kind of a crazy weekend this weekend.
As Jorge says, what position does he play?
Who? Oh,
Duval.
Yeah. Who? What position is Duval? We're not. There you go. Jags will draft a guy named Duval.
Yep.
If there was a player available, I bet they would. I really bet they would. But yeah, the Packers are gonna draft a beer vendor and make him a kicker. And
so better than us kicker last year.
Dang. But there's a certain kicker that's available that is now playing for, or that was available. That's now playing for the enemy.
Yeah, because apparently Green Bay said that wasn't a emergency need for them, which tells you all you need to know about Green Bay's front office there.
Yeah, it's going to tell you exactly how our season this next year is going to go. We are not. We may be in contention, but we ain't making it to the big dance, guaranteed. We can't even figure out the kicker thing. So, anyways, let's go back to the UFL. Right, lots of games this weekend. Right, 2 of them at the same time. We are obviously going to be at one. We're going to be tailgating at probably noon until about 5.
Tailgate starts at noon.
Yeah,
and
we'll
we're going to probably into the dome about 5:30.
If we're still upright,
be loud and rowdy for the game.
Yes. This is so evil. So evil. God, bro. That hurts, man. That hurts. But he's right. Anyways, so make sure, come check out the tailgate. I'm sure we're gonna have the showboats and the Battle Hawks on, just so we can razz our friends over in St. Louis. Our game is at 6:00, and so we're probably not going to be watching the DC Birmingham game. But I'm sure we're going to be getting updates. I'm sure, people are going to be sending out information, throughout the whole game. We need this win, right? Just from the simple, solid fact that we have got to turn things around. We've got to let Dormady have an opportunity to, lead the, steer the ship is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And show off that, he's got what it takes. It's going to be great.
Coming off of a loss, Michigan's a good team. They've got a hell of a defense. this is our coaching staff's time to shine. This is let them formulate a game plan and figure out what didn't work and what's going to work. So,
Yep.
Wade and AJ, y'all are up.
Yep. And Wade, we trust, man. We know this is going to work out. The rain situation, not worried about rain. Not worried about any of that nonsense because we're going to be tailgating underneath pop-ups. And we're going to be having
a chance of rain, which San Antonio means it's probably not going to rain at all. It's probably going to be 150 degrees.
So. I don't want to think about that. But I am bringing the portable mister. So if it is that bad, we should have a little bit of relief, hopefully.
Yeah.
Brahma Babe is going to be serving up pizzas. It's going to be good stuff. I'm not going to touch that comment, Vanessa. Moving on. And then we have the Texas Showdown, battle for not being in last place, right? So somebody's got to win that game.
Third place, come on.
Yes.
Houston Arlington, battle for third.
Okay, now we've got one last thing before we check out. Well, it's actually a 2-in-1 thing. But as you guys know, a lot of these podcasts have, networks and network friends and things like that. We, along with Horns Forward Podcast, have decided because of recent events, right, that unity really needs to happen, and it needs to start with the podcasts. So we have decided to join the Fuel Network along with Horns Forward Podcast. So you'll be able to catch us on their Fuel channel, just along with the Horns Forward Podcast. I'm sorry, I'm ruining the surprise for you guys. But there's a reason why I wanted to talk about that, because again, you guys know, my relationship with Dirty, it goes back to before the season even started last year. Like, we were talking trash with him, Brian and I, made friends with him because we went on the Facebook page and started talking trash to all the Battlehawks fans. It sounds like a match made in heaven, right? But I wanted to share this with you guys, and we're going to put it up on our Facebook page just to share it. Did Brian already beat me to it? I hope he didn't. But you know how big they are with the charity Autism Speaks. They have a special edition Fuel t-shirt, Autism Speaks, right? $20. The proceeds do go to Autism Speaks. And this is kind of one of those charities that's a big deal because, there's so many people that are affected by autism, whether it be the players on the field, or not directly affected, but they have a loved one or, a family member, or they know somebody who deals with this. We know Fuel Network, this is a charity that hits close to home for them. So they're selling these shirts, like I said, $20 each. We'll post the link in our Facebook page. But check it out, buy a t-shirt. Again, those proceeds go directly to Autism Speaks. So you're helping out a great charity. It's a great cause. As you know, last year, several of us, Brahma Babe, Rig Rocker, myself, we went to that event in St. Louis and helped raise a pretty decent amount, that went to Autism Speaks. And I don't remember what the amount is. Don't get me lying on numbers. It was like $10 million or something. I don't know. But it was a great opportunity to show that, camaraderie throughout the league. Well, this is another one of those opportunities, right? You can support people throughout the league and, just do some really good stuff. Okay. But, what's up, Marco? Let's go, man. You got a big game this weekend, by the way. Go ahead, Brian.
The link that Brian just posted, Cameron Dantzler, the cornerback we signed last week. Well, he's been put on the suspended list.
Does it say what for?
It doesn't. Not on this post, but go back to that Friday. Man, how you get suspended on your day off?
Exactly. Like, you just started the team, and then you're already suspended.
And he got suspended.
Nice. Wow. That's brutal. So, Marco, I'm only showing this because it's Jorge, and I know you're going to take a shot, and you're going to respond in kind. Okay. So again, right?
Oh,
Got a
here,
lot going
let
on
me
this
say
weekend.
what's up to my buddy Johnny.
Oh,
This
what's
is
up?
the Battle Chicken fan that I met at the championship game last
Oh,
year.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
welcome, man. Good to see you,
yeah,
Horns Ford. Let's go. We met some really cool Battlehawks fans this last
we
weekend
did
as well.
this last week too. So
And then some of them came down because they were in Austin and they just wanted to drink beer. So, and that's fine too. Like
it's good too.
we'll be fine with that. Again, our tailgates are open to everybody. So football this weekend, plenty of stuff to watch. You got a game Thursday with the Gunslingers. You've got Frisco that is going to be playing on Saturday. You've got 3 football games in the UFL on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. You've got the NFL draft coming up next week. So like we are swimming in the stream of football. Like this is exactly it. Now, I'm not going to go into it too much. I'm sure you guys are wondering because there have been some extracurricular activities. Ignore all that. That is just that's being taken care of. Don't worry about it. Okay.
It's noise. Noise. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just noise, right? Let's focus on what's important here, which is making sure that we're supporting our team, that we're having a good time, and that we're supporting the league, right? Just like the trip to Arlington. This is a great way for us to hang out and bond and not have to worry about, driving up there and driving back, wasting gas, taking a chance on getting in some kind of trouble or something, right? Jump on, get your seats, come check it out with us. It's going to be a great time. But this is also an opportunity for us to go and hang out with our Renegades friends. Well, at least some of our Renegades friends. Right. But again, it's about the health of the league.
Renegades fans are all right. I mean, their team sucks, but the fans
they throw one hell of a tailgate. That's for dang sure. Almost rivals ours. I mean, shots fired.
You got one guy that makes good tacos up in that area. But
no, there's a bunch of. Well, we only go to the one section, so
yeah, exactly, there, Marco, right there. So one person in all of Arlington / South Oklahoma that makes good tacos.
Yep. So 2 things real quick. We'll touch on. KJ said, good luck this weekend with Dormady. And then Brian's asking if we think that Quentin playing might bring more attention to the team locally.
I don't think so. Not any more than what they already have, because there's already a couple local players on the team. So
yeah, we've got a couple of kids from UTSA. We've got a kid from UIW, I believe it was. And that hasn't really, now granted, quarterback position generally always draws more attention as it is, but is it going to make that much of a difference? I don't think we're going to get that much traction out of it. Honestly, it's not like if you brought Frank Harrison or something like that, right? Then the place would be packed to the brim because it's Frank Harris, right? Agent Zero, 7-year college career, like, unbelievable stuff. And, oh yeah, Jorge right here. We've got a player from Texas State on the D line.
Yep.
Forgot all about that, right? So we've got those local connections, and I don't see that it's making that much of a difference in attendance. However, let's talk about attendance real quick. Like, don't let those numbers spook you. Okay, numbers are not exactly what they were last year, but you've got to remember we've got a better TV deal, right? For example, our game against St. Louis, we had over 1 million viewers watching that game. Right. And that's all revenue that's coming in. So that's important. So everything kind of balances itself out. We still need more people in the dome.
Absolutely.
Right. So tell your friends, right? There's tons of, BOGO opportunities out there. There's, seating in the Lone Star Club in the bullpen. You can come sit with us in 134. I don't know why, but you could.
Hang out with the rowdy bunch.
Yeah. 108. I would say 108, but 108's packed now. Yeah. Somebody said that 108 was the place to be. I don't understand that nonsense, but whatever. No, it's good stuff. Good people over there. Lots of fun. But there are still plenty of great seats available. Anything that, there's stuff that fits every budget. So make sure you're telling your friends and your neighbors about it. We're not bringing up that comment because, right, that's how you put it to bed. You stop talking about it. Okay. But that being the case, right? Make sure you check it out. Okay. Come check out a game. It's 100% worth it. Right. Brian, you hang on real quick. I need to send you a link and then we need to kick over to another place.
We do. We have a field that's actually from this century. So
yeah, I don't even. Ooh, let's not talk about that. Am I? What the hell's going on here? Brian
all right.
Davis.
Well, why don't we jump off this show before we jump on another?
Yes. I'm sending you the link right now. You should get it, although for some reason your information is not coming up. So let's check that. Okay. Brian, you got anything else before we bail out of here?
That's it. I'm good. Hopefully we'll see you guys on Saturday.
134 is always welcoming. They're not, the cheapest seats, but 100% they're great seats. You're probably going to want to stay away from
them. What's kind of that back corner end zone all the way up at the top? We could throw the Banditos over there.
Wow.
They don't need to be right in the action. They can be up in the top corner.
You want to put them in the second tier?
Yeah.
Where they've got the blankets draped over the seats?
There you go.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Okay. You got anything else before we bail?
That's it.
Guys, check out football this weekend. Horns forward. We got it. We're getting our win this week. Let's go.